things. He's making things happen that you couldn't make happen. As a part of the healing process, every day this young lady texted her father's number and told what went on that day and what she was feeling. It was her way of staying close to her father. She told him how she had overcome cancer, how she had finished college and graduated with honors. Not just the good things, she texted about the boyfriend that broke her heart, some of the other challenges she had faced. All the while, she thought she was doing this just to help her heal, to help her move forward. But on the 4th anniversary of her father's death, the young lady received a response from the number she had been texting. She thought it was no longer working. But the text said, "My name is Brad. 3 years ago, I lost my daughter in a car accident. Your text every day have been what's keeping me going." He went on to tell her how proud he was of her, how proud her father would be. The young lady said that was her sign that everything was okay, that she could let her father rest in peace. Today she's moving forward and doing great things. When life throws us a curve, it's easy to take the venom, go around poisoned, with a chip on our shoulder. If you'll keep moving forward, God will give you beauty for those ashes. He didn't bring you this far to leave you. That loss, the disappointment, the bad break didn't stop His plan. He has you in the palm of His hand. There are great days up ahead. Don't let that poison stay in you. Take the anti-venom. Believe that God is in control and that your latter days will be better than your former days. In Numbers 21, the Israelites were in the desert headed toward the promised land. God had given them victory over different armies, parted the Red Sea, freed them from slavery. But they got tired of traveling through the desert. They began to complain and be disgruntled. They said, "Moses, there's nothing good to eat out here. We can't stand this manna anymore. Why did you bring us to the desert to die? Let's just go back to Egypt and be slaves again." They started talking bad about Moses, stirring up trouble. The scripture says poisonous snakes came into their camp, and many of them were bitten and died. After all God has done for us, when we're tempted to complain, be discontent, that's shaky ground. Here God was giving them manna each morning, supernaturally providing food in the desert, but they were finding fault. The next verse says, they came running back to Moses and said, "Moses, we have sinned." It's funny how quickly their attitude changed. Trouble has a way of helping us have the right perspective. They went on to say, "Moses, please pray that God will take away these snakes." One moment they were talking bad about Moses. The next moment they were asking him to pray for them. If you're going to be a leader, if God's going to trust you with influence, sometimes you have to pray for people who were criticizing you the day before. You have to be good to someone that doesn't deserve your goodness. I'm sure Moses was tempted to say, "Yeah, I would love to pray for you. God, send more snakes. God, get rid of the rest of them." If you're going to pass this test, you have to swallow your pride and do the right thing, even though they don't deserve it. It's interesting what God told Moses to do. He said, "Make a bronze snake, put it up on a pole, and everyone that looks up at that snake will be healed." Why would He choose a snake? That's what they were trying to get rid of. You would think God would say, "Make a bronze dove," or "Make a bronze Ark of the Covenant." But God took the very thing that was the problem and turned it into the solution. That's what the scripture says. What the enemy meant for harm, God turns to your advantage. The snakes didn't stop biting them. They weren't free from trouble, but from then on, anyone who looked up at that bronze snake was healed. Years later, Jesus was talking to Nicodemus. He said in John chapter 3, just as Moses lifted